Hey, what's up everyone? It's Flexing Joe, and I'm back with another trade recap and review, and today I'm going to be discussing Tesla puts. It is Friday, January 12th, and I took Tesla puts today, this morning, and rode them up for nearly 550%. So, what was the trade? What was the setup? Let's start with the daily time frame, the daily chart. The daily chart was showing me that I'm still watching this gray shaded box. This is a gap up move from November 13th to November 14th. I'm also marked the fib, so the golden zone retracement. So this was a move from low to high. So I was looking at the 50 to 61.8 fib retracement on this gap, and you can see that we wicked out of it twice. But then yesterday we closed down through it. We pierced all the way through it, almost to the bottom of the gap, and then we closed through it, which meant to me that there was more bearish price action to come. So seeing that, let's move on to the 10-minute time frame. So the 10-minute time frame, this is yesterday. In the after hours, I saw that Tesla was continuing to move down. They had some news on their Gigafactory in Berlin, and they have to slow down production, yada, yada, yada. Big macro news for them. Of course, slowing down the production of their cars is a big deal. And what happens? The market doesn't react positively to it. So you see them continuing to gap down all morning, and even when we get the PPI news pop on ES and NQ, it doesn't do anything for Tesla to help them at all. So what happens after that, right? I'm going to go down to my 5-minute chart with all my studies. So this will automatically mark my pre-market low and my previous day low. So you see immediately off of the open, they hold the pre-market low and they push up. And ultimately, it gets kind of nasty here around the 5-minute 200, and they reject perfectly off of this thin blue line, which is the previous day's low. So you have anybody who's a stuck buyer, see previous day low. You have anybody who's a stuck buyer or whatever looking to get out for break even. See, that's the low of day yesterday. So also another thing that even if you didn't see that, if you're just good or very adept at reading candlesticks, you can see that, hey, we had this big wick up where the buyers were able to push it, but the sellers stepped in hard, and the buyers are not able to close above where those sellers are. Even though we push a little bit more into their territory, we ultimately get rejected twice. From there, the bears take over on the candle by candle indicator. That's what the red arrow is there. And we continue to move down. We get a little pop off of the opening print, and to me, it looks weak, right? We're not putting in a higher high over like this pivot or over VWAP, and we're not making any distinct higher lows. So from there, this is where I enter. I see this inverted hammer here below VWAP. I see the EMAs right on the 5. I also see the EMAs on the 10. What I want to point out about the EMAs on the 10 is that we had pushed over them, right? But then this 3450 cloud, this yellow cloud, the higher time frame EMAs held here for a push down, and they looked like they were going to be holding again. And your 10-minute EMAs were trying to pinch and cross. So this is a bearish signal. And seeing this, seeing VWAP above, seeing this already rejected off of your mid orb line, that's that gray dashed, just seeing everything and understanding everything about the Tesla chart, it told me it's bearish. Don't chase the long, use your system to stay short. All right, so I wasn't short, but this was the best place for me to hop in. I grabbed the 220 puts for 46 cents. So if you pull up the options contract chart, I grabbed the 220 puts for 46 cents. And then my scales, right, as I scaled for the first time as we just knifed right through this, right through the opening print. I had 25 contracts and I took 7 off right here for $60 a con. So that was my first scale. From there, I just started to peel them off even faster. I grabbed a whole bunch more off around here as well. When I saw that we put in this little green hammer, first I waited and I saw that we wicked above the pre-market low. And we ultimately closed above the low of the current low of day there, where the opening range break, the orb study is, that dashed orange line. So when we closed back above that, and then we pushed down again, I was like, hey, the market rarely gives second chances, right? Let me trim a little bit more off here and lock in some more profit, because this is a 0 day. I don't have much time, and I obviously have a big winning trade on my hands. I don't want to give too much back to the market makers. They already make it hard enough for me, right? So I took a little bit more off there, and then I continued to scale on the way down. As this approached over here, these contracts, they reached $3.10 at their peak. And you know, I saw this candle and I really didn't feel good about it, especially after this one. You get this hammer candle right here. We pushed down some more, then we put in this doji. A lot of indecision here towards the bottom. I was expecting that we probably would trail up and retest this orb, and that's exactly what we did. And I just knew that this pullback was going to really evaporate a lot of value out of my contracts, and I only had one left here, right? I was up over 500%, and I decided to just jump out. Like, hey, you know what? This is a phenomenal trade. 500% is fantastic. Even if it is only on the one remaining contract, I'm out, right? I mean, all things considered, remember, my first scale was over 100% profit. So I was very happy to exit on this trade. So really quickly, just to show you guys. So I entered in here on this candle at 11:30 at 46 cents, right? So I really sniped that one. And like I said, you know, I didn't take any scales off here, even though this moved up considerably. But I did scale some out up here at 106, 107 for 60 bucks a con, right? And really that has to do with me targeting, you know, this pivot area, right? So I can see where these options contracts pivoted. A little bit of something that I'm trying to work on with, you know, the options contract chart and price action pivots, because it's not the same as looking at, you know, an underlying, but you can see where did they pull back to that same exact pivot where I first scaled, right? And since then they haven't eclipsed that high. And then now you can see too that these contracts are coming down a little bit. Like I said, it is Friday. There isn't a lot left, you know, for time, right? So you want to be really mindful of that when you're taking any options trades, especially now it's 3:11 in the afternoon. We're getting down to the end of the day. So that's it for my Tesla trade review. I do hope that you guys enjoyed that. And if you have any questions or have any questions about the thesis or the thought process of the trade, please let me know. And I will catch you all in the next video.